You're listening to BYU-Idaho Radio. I'm Nathan Lenahan, and today I'm joined on the phone by John Scaife. He's the chairman of the American Dog Derby. John, thank you so much for joining us today.
It's a pleasure to be here.
John, so could you tell us a little bit about this race before we get into the details of what's happening this year with it? Just maybe a little bit about the history of it?
Yeah, it started back in 1917. Some guys, they wished to run mail up to West Yellowstone, but they decided to make a race out of it. And they started saying, well, let's have a competition. So Union Pacific joined in, and they started doing several little races and going to West Yellowstone and back. And then just kind of kept growing from there. Then Union Pacific is backing it through the 20s and 30s and 40s. And it was really a big historic thing in the United States. And it's the longest running lower in the dog sled race in the United States.
That's very interesting. And how did you get involved in it?
Oh, in Ashton, you volunteer, you just to start having fun. And just my parents were involved with it too earlier in their lives and stuff. So I decided to join in on that fun. And I've never been on a dog sled, but I still enjoy making the race go on for everybody.
Nice. And so, of course, this year, things are pretty different looking at the weather and how the winter has been, or really lack thereof. And so how has that impacted this race?
It's had a tremendous impact. The rate, we usually can move it to a different venue up at Bear Gulch without canceling. We canceled in 2005, 2015 because of lack of snow. Then we had the venue up in Bear Gulch, so we could still have it if we don't have enough snow in town and or across the fields. But this year, even the Bear Gulch does not have enough snow. It's really thin and melting off, so we just impacted us tremendously.
And so is the race still happening this year at a different location?
Unfortunately, no, it is not. We, as a committee, met last night and decided the safety of the mushers because of the ice and lack of snow, that it was not safe for the mushers and people around. That's the biggest priority, is the safety of everybody. We would have had a great race if we would have had snow, because there's a lot of other races all around the Northwest canceled, and they were all looking at us to have a race.
Mm. And so are there any other events? Because I know there was going to be other things going on with the race, like other activities, or any of those things still happening for the community?
Great. Appreciate you asking that. Yes, we have. The committee decided we aren't going to let it go, so we said it's going to be the Ashton American Dog Derby celebration. We have a scavenger hunt. We're still working out the details on that, to go through the businesses to win some prizes for the scavenger hunt. We're finding a puppy within the businesses, a little stuffed puppy. We got probably a musher going to come up just to demonstrate that people could take pictures with. We have a camel, a donkey, and a white buffalo calf coming up for people to take pictures with and have fun with and pet. And so there's quite a few things going on. Our soup challenge on Friday night at 5:00 at the community center, 5:30, which we have several delicious soups. Come on up and for $2, you can taste a lot of soups and vote for the best one. And we have instead of snow sculpture, we're having clay sculptures, which the classrooms, we have 5-6 classrooms doing it, plus some high school classes doing it. And the Ashton Memorial Center seniors there are doing sculptures, which will be displayed at the library, or during the soup challenge and during the quilt show. They also have it at the library.
Nice. And when is all this happening?
It'll be Friday night's the soup challenge, and the sculptures will probably be displayed that night in the gym there. And Saturday, from 10 to 2 will be my animals there for camel and that. So far, that's the tentative schedule right now. Like I say, last night we just barely started planning everything different for this town events. The scavenger hunt, we're going to finish finale in that next Tuesday as to where we're going to do everything. We'll have it on our website and Facebook page.
Okay, so that's just still on the same days as the race would have been, the February 20th and 21st?
Correct. And Friday, there won't be anything really during the day, just that evening with the soup challenge,
Mhm.
which is great community event. People come out and we have a lot of soups lined up already.
Huh. And can people still enter that, or is it all full?
It's not full yet, from what I
Mhm.
understand. My chairman of that said they're still can handle a few more yet. It sounds like.
All right, nice. So in the past, you said it was 2005 and 2015 where you had to cancel this. Did the committee go the same route and still hold a celebration event?
No, we did not at that time. We basically canceled everything because it was just back then we didn't have a committee to do everything like it was, so we just canceled everything. And unfortunately, that's what happened. But times change, and I got a good committee, and they are can't think of enough.
Yeah. I'm sure the community is still excited to have something going on despite the lack of snow stopping the race.
Yes, they are. I really hope so, and hopefully people will come up just for the soup challenge and see this clay sculptures. Like I say, something different, and we're going to be working on several other things in the future to have it for something like this happens again, or also during the race.
Right. And I guess this would be hard to predict because this winter is different than any other, but how has the community turnout been in the years past just for the additional events that go on besides the race?
Been really good. We have a lot of people come up from Idaho Falls, Pocatello, all over the place because this dog sled is very a unique sport in this southeastern Idaho that there's not anything like it around this area besides over in Boise and northern Idaho and up in Montana and Colorado. So their southeastern Idaho is a great place to show up there in Ashton, which is very historic.
And on average, like in the past, how many teams come and show up to race?
Anywhere when we have our longer and shorter distance teams, our junior racers, and we have the skijors, which is pulled by dogs instead of horses, which that's pretty awesome to see. With everybody combined, it's usually around 25 to 30 like that. The regular teams is around 15 or so. Then we have the juniors, which is sometimes anywhere from 4 to 5 teams, and the skijor on the skis, anywhere from 2 to 5. It just varies on what everybody's doing.
Nice. And how long? You said there's a long race and a short one. What are the distances of each of those?
Our shorter race, they run 12 miles out to Highway 47, turn around and come back, which is what we call them sprint races because they aren't very distance. The other race varies because depends on how the fields are, the circles, about 22 to 23 miles is what they do. They do that twice, one Friday and one Saturday.
Wow. And around how long does that on average take to complete?
They usually leave about 8:30, and they're usually done by 9:30. Well, I won't say 9:30. 12:30, 1 o'clock. It just depends on the snow and how many teams we have.
Wow. And how many dogs is on a team?
Our larger teams, that's basically unlimited. They usually are anywhere from 10 to 14 dogs, and the other is like usually an 8 dog team on the shorter teams. We kind of limit that because that there we try and make this race a fun race. It's not a competitive race. Where it's where the mushers get together, just have a good reunion, just relax from all the other races that's competitive, and it's just a fun race for people, the community. They love the community, come out and watch them and things like that. But because they start most of the races out of towns, ours is very unique where it starts in town and finishes in town.
Hmm. Interesting. And I guess all these race specific questions aren't super relevant to this year's event, but having not
Right.
knowing anything about this, I am very curious. So, is there any prize or reward for the winners typically?
Yeah, we have increased our pot from about 4,000 up to $12,000, which it's expensive for these mushers to come, and we try and divvy it out as much as we can to the mushers. So we have some very great sponsors from all over, just too many numerous and businesses in town, which we try and support our business as much as possible with this race.
Well, yeah. So I imagine it brings a decent amount of business to the community and stuff like that with all these people coming in.
Yes, it does. Some business doesn't quite do as much good as the others, like the food restaurants and the few other stores do. business stores do pretty good, and some others don't do a whole lot. But they understand. But they brings people to town to know what we have there in Ashton.
Well, that's great, and we really appreciate you coming on and sharing all this information about the event with us. And it's a tragedy there's not sufficient snow to do it like usual, but it's great that you guys have found a way to keep it going and to continue helping the community.
Yeah, if they get on our website, AmericanDogDerby.com, or our Facebook face, American Dog Derby, they can see the AmericanDogDerby.com. The website is really good. Has a lot of old 1920s films, a lot of history there that explains a lot of the history of the dog derby up there.
Huh. And that will be on February 20th and 21st this month. So, yeah.
Yes, it is. The 20th and 21st. Basically, we won't have, like I say, during the day, but the 20th that evening and the 21st, like I say, we'll have the other events going on there.
Right. John, thank you so much for coming on and sharing all this with us.
Appreciate you asking me, and it's a privilege to be on this interview with you.